Hello everybody, we're building budget again in Historic Brawl with Tatyova. Now this deck is going to use no rare or mythic rare wildcards, meaning it's a great starting point if you're looking to get into Historic Brawl but don't want to invest any of those wildcards. Of course, there are plenty of upgrades that we can make to the deck that's going to make it even stronger, and I'll go ahead and show you that deck list about halfway through this video and then see how that does as well. But let's talk about this first deck, right? So our main goal here is to utilize Tatyova's ability. This is going to let us draw a card and gain 1 life each time a land enters the battlefield under our control. So our main goal here is to be ramping towards some larger threats in the deck. Let's talk a little bit about win cons. We've got Wizard class. Wizard class, that level 3 ability to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature each time we draw a card is actually going to make a big deal if this is out on the battlefield, with each of our landfalls generating a +1/+1 token and an extra card. We're going to get really far ahead very quickly. Additionally, we've got a couple of those pay X threats, so that way we can create big creatures with all of our mana as we're going to spend most of the game ramping. We've got Tatyova here, the other one. This one's going to turn our lands into 3/3 elemental creatures when they enter the battlefield, as long as we have 7 or more. So this is going to be a great late game threat. And then up in the top end, we've got a couple of other big threats that we're looking to close the game out with. Bookworm, we can put that back on our library each time it dies, so this is going to keep coming back as a recurring 7/7 threat. Let's see. We've got our giant Leviathan here. If we pay the kicker cost, so that's 10 mana, we're actually going to be able to return all other creatures to their owner's hands. And this is going to be great. That gives us an 8/8 that we can swing in with, and also disrupts our opponent's board state. Similarly, we have Meteor Golem. This is going to get rid of any pesky permanents or any blockers that are causing us problems. And then we have Beanstalk Giant, which acts as both ramp for us in its sorcery adventure, as well as being a huge creature based on the number of lands we have on the battlefield, and we're looking to have a whole bunch. Now that we've had a chance to take a look at what we're doing here, let's go ahead and take this into Brawl and see how it does. Alright, here we are playing into Ob Nixilis. This is a fine hand to keep, to start with. Let's go ahead and get ourselves our blue source. There we go. Blue source acquired. Okay. Let's play the Llanowar Scout. There's a chance this is going to be able to ramp us if we draw into another land next turn. Alright, we did not draw into another land. That's alright, though. Let's see, what do we want to do instead? We could hold up Essence Scatter. I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and pass. See if they play the Ob Nixilis. It would be good to counter. Can also turn it into a 1/1. Might be a little bit better. We'll see. But it needs to have the land drop first. Alright, adds a bunch of mana. Let's see what we've got. Okay. I don't want to deal with an Urbrask. So we'll just counter that. Back to my turn. Alright, we've got Terramorphic Expanse here. I'm gonna crack it right away. Get that second blue land. And we'll just foretell the saw it coming. Now we'll be able to cast that after our next turn. Maybe we can play the Liberator. We're trying to play it slow here. We could also, depending on what our opponent does. Yeah, that's fine. Lightning Bolt. I'm glad they got that out of the way now. Our opponent's a little bit behind on lands. If we draw another one, we can get Tatyova out. Alright. Let's play Land of War Elves. Now we do have Tatyova next turn. We don't need the Land of War Elf that badly. Gonna focus on keeping Nixilis in their command zone. I think that's gonna be good enough to get us there. Let's see, Thoughtseize, they will take Transmutation, but we have the counter for Nixilis. I think we're just gonna counter the Thoughtseize. It's gonna be the better way to do it. That way he won't know about the Transmutation, he'll play out the Nixilis and then lose the Nixilis. We play out our commander. We're tapped out, so he'll feel safe to play Nixilis here. He plays the land, and the Nixilis. Easy, alright. And now, he gets a frog. Little frog. Love the little guy. Let's go ahead, grow from the ashes. Let's get a basic forest. Land to draw a card. Okay. Pass the turn here. It's got a nice little frog. Looking good. Yep. It's just a little guy. Opponent down to 3 cards in hand. That's really good for us. Ideally, we're going to keep seeing our lands, keep drawing our cards. I think if they had the removal, they'd use it already. Okay. Sacrifice Nixilis. That's fine. Back in the command zone you go. Alright, let's go ahead and play another land. 3. Let's just play out a big guy. He has potential to grow, but right now he's just going to be a strong blocker. If our opponent has another removal spell, we'll probably use it. If not, we'll keep him from attacking, which is going to be really good for us. Next turn, if we draw the land, we can play out our commander again. Get another card draw, gain some life. Alright, Underworld Dreams. It's kind of funny, because it's not really going to do anything. Because most of our card draw is paired with life gain. And then no attacks here. It is very funny, though. We can destroy that next turn as well with the Liberator. Or the Brontodon. We have plenty of ways of dealing with that. Okay. Let's start with Tatyova. Play a land. Turn it into a flyer. Let's go ahead and cast out the Liberator as well. Move to combat. We'll start getting in for damage. Opponent is down at 14. Now, we're going to see if our opponent does cast a spell this turn. We're not going to be able to flip the Liberator. Looks good. No Underworld Dreams for you. Alright. Omen of the Hunt. Searching for a basic. Let's grab a green land. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn that into a creature. Okay. Got ourselves another creature. Put Nixilis back in their hand. And we've got it! Alright! Alright, playing into Kaya. This looks great. We're gonna go ahead and keep. Swiftfoot Boots is gonna be good for keeping our Tatyova alive. Entering the battlefield tapped isn't really gonna be an issue. Let's play the Llanowar Elves, has Summoning Sickness anyway. Destroys the elf, that's fine. Didn't even need it anyway. Alright. Go ahead and end the turn. Okay. Draw a card. Let's put the Evolving Wilds down. Sacrifice the Evolving Wilds. Let's go ahead and get a Forest. Pretty good so far. Getting all of our land drops. Okay. Tap Bailoff. It's gonna get bigger with landfall. Gonna start swinging. Alright, they're gonna get rid of Swiftfoot Boots. No, they get rid of Snakeskin Veil. Alright. Interesting. Alright. Well, let's play our tap land. Play our Boots. Attach our Boots. And swing for 6. That's fine. No worries there. Next turn, we're going to have to think about ordering, depending on what our opponent leaves up. But we want to play Tatyova. Alright, Doom Foretold. Okay. Sacrifice Bailoff. Let's play Tatyova. Okay. We're gonna attach this. We're gonna have to sacrifice our Boots to Doom Foretold. But at least we're gonna be protected from removal this turn. Yep.
When you can walk through walls, and don't worry, I got you.
Okay. There goes the Boots. Alright, let's think about this. Let's get our card draw first. Okay. Llanowar Scout. Juggernaut. And let's swing at the Kaya.
Oh, that's gonna cost you.
Alright. Looking pretty good. End turn here. Yep. Aspiring Overseer again. See if they choose to kill the Kaya to get rid of Tatyova. I don't think they will.
Well, you're not lacking for spirit.
Alright, let's start by tapping this guy and putting a land onto the battlefield. Now we can go ahead and sacrifice him. Alright. Let's go ahead. Tap that guy down. Move to combat. They're gonna swing at Kaya. We just wanted to prevent the double block.
Well, this situation's getting messy.
Okay. Holding up incongruity. I kind of like this. We'll have to sacrifice the Juggernaut next turn, though. So let's actually go in and grab ourselves a Meteor Golem. I like that. And let's just get rid of Kaya right now.
Look, I can't do everything.
I'm okay with Doom Foretold. We're going to be able to play around that. Opponent's not going to be able to cast Kaya next turn, and we have Wash Away in hand. They have been getting a lot of value out of the Overseer, though. Alright, Wash Away is gone. Makes sense. We'll be sacrificing our Meteor Golem next turn. Alright, back in the command zone. Okay. Discard. They do the Doom Foretold thing. Replay our commander. Draw a card. Looking good. We're hanging on to Unwind right now. That's going to be really good. It'll counter their commander. I'm glad that Doom Foretold is out of the way now. We're going to be able to start accumulating value. Yep, Arcane Signet's fine. Overseer's fine. Yep. 2 can play at the Gain Life Draw Cards game. Well, thanks for paying that additional cost. Alright, well, we've got a lot of cards to draw. Let's go ahead and sacrifice one of our tap lands. Okay, let's sacrifice this here. Draw 2 cards. To combat. We've got Negate in hand. And no Sorin for you. We can recast Tatyova if he can kill that. That's fine. Extra card draw. Back to the command zone. Alright. Here's Tatyova. Let's draw another card. Looking good. End the turn. Still got 2 mana up, so we are presenting the counterspell. Alright, yep. Opponent's taking a look at our hand. Best case scenario, they're gonna pick the Great Horn here, because we can mutate. Yep. Looks good to me. Banishing Light is going to be unfortunate. Can spend all of our mana to get Tatyova back again next turn. Okay. It's 2 damage. Draw a card. Okay. Well, I mean, gotta do what you gotta do here. Alright, we have our other Tatyova. That's gonna be good. If they spend their turn removing Tatyova this turn, we'll be able to start turning some of our lands into flyers.
Stand by as innocent
Yep.
people are
Back in the command zone. And our opponent's tapped down. So that is a mistake. Let's turn this into a nice land. Let's go ahead and mutate here. We're gonna put it over. Grab a forest. There we go. Move to combat. Quite unfortunate for them.
I'm just gonna fade out.
Okay. No need to make any of their creatures an elk yet. So we'll just wait back. Okay. Unfortunate. Alright, well. Start drawing some cards again. Move to combat. Get in. For some reason, Kai's in their graveyard. I think they're trying to get that back with the Elspeths. Take action. Alright. Let's see what we want to do. I mean, we can just play it again. But that's not going to be the best for us. Let's go ahead and cast our Mulldrifter. Okay. I like Wilderness Reclamation. It's going to give us some more options. Let's turn this guy into an elk. Lose out on his abilities. Attack with the land. Untap all of our lands. Kai is back. Okay.
There's no job too tough for me to handle.
See what they do. We can survive this turn. Okay.
Don't worry. I got you.
Okay. They're choosing to pay. Let's just try that again. Alright, back to my turn. Let's go Tatyova. Land for a card. Alright. No attacks. Do we wanna... No, I think we're alright. Looking pretty good so far.
Well, this wasn't what I had guild business to attend to anyway.
Okay. Let's resolve that.
A helping hand is a potent weapon.
Okay, back to your hand. Okay. Let's go and have our fun island just fight their Spellbinder. I'm okay with that dying. Alright. Reclamation Sage. Sure. I would like to destroy that. Play land. Gain some life, draw some cards. Let's do it again. Let's do some more. Yep. Gonna be doing a whole bunch of ramping. Alright. Here's a blue fish. Okay. Play land. Draw a card. Activate this ability. Draw a card. There's a land. Alright. And let's go to combat. 3 with flying. Alright. End the turn. Untap all of our lands. They pick Sorin. I think I'm okay with them having a Sorin here.
I am vengeance, bloody and righteous.
Make a flying vampire.
I bring my own army.
But you don't get that. We're gonna be able to draw a whole bunch of cards. That's fine. Catilda, that's a 1/1 flyer. Okay. Yep, land. Gain life, draw a card. Okay. We'll get to Scry here. Looks good. Turning a creature or enchantment our opponent controls to their hand, also pretty good. Alright, well, let's start by putting a ward on our Tatyova. That's gonna protect her from targeted removal. Okay. Let's just exile Soren. No more Soren. Okay. Let's kick, draw some cards. Cultivate. We are going to start running low on lands in our deck. This is fine for us, though. Yep. Alright. Let's go ahead and attach this to the Muldrifter. Give him a little buff. Almost out of lands. Alright. 2 combat. Gonna swing like this. 25 cards left. Alright. There's Kaya. Yep. Draws a card.
Stand by as innocent people are slaughtered.
Okay. Well. I do want to draw a card. We'll play the kicker. Return Kaya to our opponent's hand. Alright. Okay, Blood Artist. We're okay with that for right now. And let's draw a card. Land onto the battlefield. Do some scrying. Alright, Beanstalk Giant is going to be a great draw. Alright. Kaya will resolve.
When you can walk through walls, anything looks easy.
Wilderness Reclamation makes sense. We're just going to draw a whole bunch of cards now. Reliquary Tower. Okay. Getting close. Alright. There we are. This is looking pretty good. We've got a lot of power on the board. So let's go Wizard's Class. Upgrade the Wizard's Class. Draw 2 cards. Down to 14 cards in hand. Now whenever we draw, we'll put counters. Okay, looking good so far. Now let's start taking care of some pesky creatures. I don't want to accidentally lose to a Blood Artist, so now it's Blood Frog. Let's see. Lifelink and Flying, this one's bigger. Okay, now it's Vampire Token Frog. Okay, let's go ahead and cast our Bookworm. +1/+1 counter, let's put that on the Muldrifter. Druid class. Start upgrading our Druid class. Up to level 3. We're gonna make Thornwood Falls a great land. Now, 2 mana left. Let's go Blink of an Eye. Let's return... no returns yet. Let's go to combat first. Okay. You'll go over there. You'll go over there. This looks pretty good to me. Swing it on out. Yep. Opponent does have a whole bunch of blockers, so they are going to be able to block. But this should seriously impair what they're trying to do going forward. Alright. End turn. We do want to hold up our counterspell, just in case there's a board wipe. Yep. Let's stop Soren. No token. Getting very close. Okay. Yep.
Here, let me help.
Blood Frog's coming back. That's fine. Yep. That's fine as well. Personally glad they exiled the smaller of our big creatures. Can play out Catilda to give +1/+1 to something. Alright, they did have the board wipe. Commander back in the command zone. But we're drawing some cards because of it. 12 cards in hand. Here's a Blood Artist. Alright, well, there's a couple things that we could do. Start with our Beanstalk Giant. And then let's play out our Wildwood Scourge. This should be 22. Alright. Looks pretty good to me. End the turn here. Yep. Soren is back. This is fine. I'm going to be able to keep casting large creatures. Yep. Looks pretty good. Alright. Has blockers. See if he kills the Kaya. He might. If he doesn't, we're going to be in a great spot. Alright. Looks good. Yep. Kills Kaya, gets rid of Beanstalk Giant. Now here's the fun part for us. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with Blink of an Eye. We'll go ahead and return Adeline. That's gone now. You'll go back to your hand as well. Let's tap you down. And we've got it! Alright! Alright, now that we've seen Budget Tatyova, here's the upgraded version. Feel free to pause the video right here and take a look at some of the card upgrades if you're thinking about playing again. I'm just going to point out a couple of fun ones. So we've got Scute Swarm. This is going to go absolutely insane with all of our land drops, filling out the whole board with copies of itself, growing exponentially. Up at the top end, we have Coma. Coma is a game ender. Great card to have. Cultivator Colossus, also going to give us land drops and grow in power with each of them. That's going to be absolutely amazing. Let us go through our deck, get all those. Running some extra turn spells for fun. Red and 7. This is going to make a big creature token equal to the number of lands we control, and we're going to be ramping a whole bunch. It can also let us empty our hand onto the battlefield, draw a bunch of cards. And Ashaya is going to actually turn all of our creatures into lands, which is going to synergize excellently with Tatyova. We also have Awaken the Woods. Each of those 1/1 green forest dryads are going to count as lands, and that's going to draw us even more cards. Now let's go and see how this deck does. Alright. Opponent on the play. Up against Thalion the Gitrog. We'll go ahead and keep this. We can ramp off the Kami. We've got Awaken the Woods and Uro as well. This is a great starting hand. Okay. Let's see what our opponent starts with. Starts with a tapped land. Oh, and we draw the Cultivator Colossus. Alright. Let's go ahead and put Breeding Pool in tapped. That way we don't have to pay the 2 life. Next turn we've got Uro. Okay. Let's throw down a Fabled Passage. Let's attack in. No reason not to. He won't block, so that's 1 free damage. End the turn. Next turn, we'll have 5 mana. I can play Tatyova. It's a Tireless Tracker. Alright. Since we already have the 3 green pips we need for Cultivator, I'm going to be getting a blue land off Fable. Let's go ahead and get that land right now. Island. Alright, speaking of, we now have all the pips we need for Mass Manipulation. Here's Tatyova. Let's see if our opponent plays out Thalia and the Gitrog next turn. They do not play out a sword. Okay. I mean, let's not have to worry about combat damage here. Okay. Now we've got a couple of different options here. Let's go for the Awaken the Woods route. Kind of like this. This will be some good ramp. Also going to draw a whole bunch of cards for us. Okay. Swing with Tatyova. We're discarding 1 card. It's going to be the Herbalist. Next turn, we've got Cultivator Colossus. That should be absolutely insane. We'll block. Gonna cycle through a whole lot of lands, draw a whole bunch of cards. Hopefully we can find a way to have no maximum hand size. But we're gonna go for it. Let's see. No Tatyova. Back into the command zone then. I know what we're gonna do instead. Land, draw a card. Stomper. Get a land. Draw a card. And let's discard... What do we want to discard? Let's go with Thornwood Falls. I like the cards we have in our hand. Opponent's doing a lot of investigating. Next turn, we're going to go the Cultivator route. Alright, March on 5 gets rid of Tatyova. That's fine. Alright, no blocks. That's fine. We'll lose a token instead of our Stomper if he recasts March. I'm okay with that. Cultivator Colossus is going to be huge for us next turn, especially with our opponent having only 1 card in hand. Sure. Alright. Well, let's start with the Colossus. Yes, please. That can enter as well. I like the castle. Alright, that's a good deal of ramping that we've just done there. Now let's go ahead and play out our Oracle. Move to combat. 4 damage. Opponent with 2 cards in hand. Now 1. Here's Stallion, the Get Drop. Alright. Makes sense to me. Okay. Let's go ahead and destroy the sword. Okay. Play land. And then, let's see how much mana we've got. I think we'll have enough for all 3. That we will. Excellent board for us. We'll be able to swing in for lethal in just 1 second. Alright, good game. Alright, and here we are playing into Winota. This looks like a great starting hand. I love all of these cards. So, let's go ahead and start with an island. Now, get our opponent a little afraid of the blue mana. The blue mana is something to fear. Alright. Snow-covered forest. Next turn, we're going to cultivate. Going to be spending a lot of these early turns working on our ramp. Ideally, we're going to time getting Tatyova down with their Winota. I'd like to keep her on the battlefield. Okay. Well, that's fairly fortunate. Only has double strike. Okay. Let's go get green and blue. Put blue onto the battlefield. Now with Command Tower, we'll have the 4 pips in blue. And we'll have 3 in green once we empty our hand. Let's see what our opponent does, but if they don't leave up any mana this turn, we'll cast the Tatyova next turn. Perfect. They're gonna make a treasure token. We'll see if they have a lightning bolt. They might not. I'm gonna hope that they're focused more on creature synergies. So let's go ahead and play out our forest, cast our commander. They may have a way to deal with it. If they do, that's okay. Notably, we are going to have 6 or more lands, so if we go Scoot Swarm next turn, we can protect it. Awaken the Woods and Scoot Swarm is also an insane combo. But we'll see. That's good. Opponent plays out Winota. Let's see what they find. Nothing. Alright. Looks good. No blocks here, because I want to keep Tatyova. Lots of treasures for our opponents, though. That's not fantastic. I think we're going to cast the Time Warp on our turn. Okay. Looks good. Opponent with only 1 mana. Alright. Yeah. Draw a card, gain a life. This is putting us in a pretty good spot. Castle Vantress. Alright. Let's go ahead and take another turn. This is a super expensive Explore. But we do get to untap all of our lands in between, so it's kind of worth it. Alright. Next turn, we have Scoot Swarm and the Cultivator. So let's go Scoot Swarm. Now we're going to be able to start blocking. Okay, Reliquary Tower. Now we're not going to have to worry about hand size with all the cards we're going to draw off Awaken the Woods next turn. Okay, Cultivator. Get even more Scute Swarms. This is going to start getting out of control really quickly. And we're going to go ahead and grab the Forest here. Gain a life, draw some cards, whole bunch of triggers. And let's play out our Llanowar Elves. This is looking good. Next turn we'll cast a big Awaken the Woods. No attacks. Draw a whole bunch of cards. We'll be able to draw 6. Then exponentially increase our number of Scute Swarms. Alright. That's fun. Alright, looks good as well. Opponent only attacks in the air. Personally, I'm fine with that. Okay, Indestructible Esper Sentinel. Let's block the token with our Cultivator. Opponent has no mana, so we can also just block the Sentinel here with Tatyova. Alright. Next turn, big Awaken the Woods. We'll see what we draw, but I think that's going to be the way to go. Okay. Opponent has 1 treasure token they could spend. Don't think they're going to do anything with it, though. Looks good. Alright. Cyclone Summoner. Yeah, I don't think we want to do that right now. So let's start with our first landfall triggers. See if we find something else we want to cast more than Awaken the Woods. And then after, we'll have a ton of triggers to deal with. Roiling Regrift. Alright. Tap down one of these. What are you looking at? 3. So 2, 5, 7. Yep. You can draw a card. So we'll be drawing 7 cards, and then increasing our number of Scute Swarms by a lot. Let's take a second to go through all these triggers. You do want to start being careful. I imagine the tokens are going to get out of control really quickly. So let's see what we get. All right. Yep. Opponent's timing out, so we'll just wait through this. Is anybody else excited about the upcoming Lord of the Rings set? I know for me, in terms of Brawl, I'm definitely going to be making decks for each of my favorite characters. If you guys have anybody that you like from the Lord of the Rings set, if you've seen any spoilers that are super exciting, let me know. I'll make sure I can get those videos out quicker for you. Alright. It's trigger time. Let's see what we're getting. Whole bunch of cards. Looks pretty good. 60 Scute Swarms. I mean, we are going to have it next turn, so no need to swing out now. So we'll just go ahead and pass. Let our opponent take their last turn. If they have a board wipe, they have a board wipe. It would be unfortunate. But we've got a full hand and plenty of things to do next turn. Can play our other Tatyova and Azusa, start making some flying lands. We also have Ashaya. Altogether, that's going to be a lot of value for us. But we'll see. Okay. Yeah, opponent is looking at all the Skeet Swarms. I'd imagine if they had the board wipe, they would have played it already. There isn't really a clean way out of this. Alright, that's pretty good. It's a lot of indestructible as well. So they will have a lot of blockers. Unfortunately, they're not gonna have 40 blockers, which is what they're gonna need to stop lethal just from this little pile of Skeet Swarm tokens. We'll play out some other cards first, though. Make sure we can really secure. Alright, crit. Okay, well that's one fewer blocker. It's gonna be a success for us there. Alright. That's fine. I don't mind the double strike, I'll take 4. Down to 8. Still looking pretty good. Not quite sure what our opponent's gonna do about all the Skeet Swarms. Okay. Looks good. 1 treasure token, 1 card in hand. End the festivities would close out the game for them. Again, they would have played it if they had it already, though. Alright, well. Let's start with Ashaya. Let's make all of our non-tokens into lands. This is going to be great for us. Gonna build up a bigger buffer of Skeet Swarms before we attack. See how many we can actually get. I imagine it's gonna be a lot with Azusa. Okay. We'll see if our opponent concedes. Alright. Off to a good start. Next up, we'll go ahead and cast our Tatyova. Landfall. Alright. Well, here's a Lotus Cobra. That's gonna be really good for us. More landfall triggers. There we go. Yep. Add a green mana. I imagine we're going to be hitting the token limit pretty soon, so we do want to be careful. Let's go play Tatyova. Okay. Now all of our creatures are going to have flying. Or all of our land creatures. We can turn Castle Vantress into a flyer. Don't see why not. Then after this, we'll swing out. We've got plenty of tokens, and I definitely don't want to lag out the game here. Yep. Alright. Looks pretty good. Ton of triggers. We're almost there. Add 1 green mana. And I'm not even going to play a land for turn. We're starting to enter a dangerous space. So we'll just swing out. See what happens. Alright, here we go. Alright, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Tatyova is a very fun commander to play in Historic Brawl, and I hope you guys were able to see that you can perform well even without all of those rare cards if you decide to play her budget version of the deck. That being said, as always, the upgraded version is more powerful and it will give you something really fun to work towards. We have some very explosive turns, there are some very fun combos in there, that will just further accelerate us a lot faster than we could without using those rare wild cards. Now, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and if you have any ideas for a deck that you'd like to see me play next, why don't you go ahead and leave that as a comment down below. I'll see you guys next time.